Well, I suggest putting them on this way, but see there's one of the rubber feet there, which is here. We've put them this way around. It does appear that they could it go this way? Yes, that other hole lines up there, and that seems to be 4 bolt. Have I got this right? I'll double check this. Now I've had this bolt out, and I think it's a 4mm, whereas these are 5. So I can't just plumb in a 5mm bolt there. I'll double check this. First problem straight away. Well, I would say that these bolts can be a bit fiddly, so just snug them up when you first put them in, then snug up the other one and then tighten them both together, so to speak. They do fit in. Yep, this sort of frame piece does seem to certainly go around this way. Oh yeah, you can adjust the belts. I'll just show you from the side. So if you need to adjust the belts, slacken off this bolt here, there's a slot in there, and these 2 bolts here, and then this like almost right angle part can slide backwards and forwards. But I think mine seem okay as they've come. Same on the sort of wide carriage up here. I think there's only 2 bolts up there that you can slacken off, and you can stretch that out a bit. That'd be a bit awkward. Yeah, that seems okay. Pretty sturdy there. That's the table rocking. Right, that's the only, you do get a bit black off this printer. Don't know if it's powder coated and some of the powder's sort of been left on. But tighten them up reasonably firm. It does have 4 anti-vibration feet on this, so you don't need to undo them. Just tighten them up so that these shafts are this way around with the bolt hole at the top. Make sure you got the bolt hole at the top, because that's where the side bolt goes in here. Like corner piece, sometimes you have to press high, you have to even like tap it a bit with my palm, so to speak, just to get the other bolt in. So a little bit fiddly sometimes because they're pretty accurately cut, and a little bit tight sometimes. But if you take your time, you can manage. You might want to raise this up a bit to give you a bit to get the bolt in initially. Well, I put the 2 Z carriages on, right and left. I want the steppers facing inwards, and almost like the shelf facing inwards. I did the top ones first, so that it could hang down a bit. Again, a bit of fiddling lining them up, but not too bad. And then I did the bottom ones. Now, I only snugged them up initially, and then I tightened them up after that. And then it recommends that you check the carriage that can move backwards and forwards. It's not too bad now because there's nothing plugged in, so you can move it quite fast if you want. That seems okay. Is there anything else? Oh, I would say that's starting to get quite heavy now. Now that nearly it's all assembled. Well, it is just about all assembled. There's only like to plug in and stuff like that. But that's heavy now. So you might want 2 people managing this. I don't think this will go in my server cabinet. It's one thing I've got to probably try in a way. Especially not with this stepper on the wire one sticking out. This sticks out over the right hand side. So you have to allow for that. I'll see about plugging it in. If I have any problems, I'll come back and let you know. I don't think there's any major problems. A bit awkward sometimes lining the bolts up with the holes. because it seems to be that accurately cut, so to speak, and drilled and such like, but not major. Just take your time, be careful of the wires, be careful of the plugs if you're moving about, because it is getting heavy. Make sure that none of the plugs are getting trapped, he says, as this one gets trapped. I think there is a gap under the control box. There's a gap under the control box to let air in and such like. Right, I'll see about plugging it in. You might have to move be careful also when you're putting the Z in. I put them in like this and a bit an angle. Be careful of your nozzle. You might have to move it out the way when you're putting these Z carriages in. Again, just snug these bolts up for the heat bed. There's 8 of them. I think it says there's 5 or something daft in the instructions, but there are 8. Don't forget the lock and washers. To do the inside one, just lay it down something like that, then you can gently tap it over and see it almost stands up in the hole. Line up the holes somewhere near first. Use your Allen key. Make sure the threads are going in. Like so. And do that all the way around. Just snug them up until you get them all in. Put the 2 sort of T-nut type things on, so that this way around with like the curved side out over on the bracket. Line them up like this, then they can slot in. As you tighten them up, they should turn, and then these do have sort of like a grip thing on the inside edges, a nail grip, and should be able to tighten them up. Okay. Sure, I'm going to trying to get the way around they go. So hopefully you see that the nuts, the T-nuts, are sort of going this way, so that hits against each sort of side of the groove. Don't know how well I can show you this. There we are. It's just the wiring to sort of base mainly do now. I've leave the protective covering on the heat bed until the last second, I would say, before you warm it up. Yep. At first I thought, where's the boarding tube? But then I noticed there was a boarding tube going into this like sleeve in here, which has a cut down all the way. It's quite a strong spring. And then there's a tie wrap down here, and I noticed that it ends just after this tie wrap. So I wedged open the split that's in this like wrapping that goes round, and I'm using this Allen key to like lever it out. So there is a boarding tube or Bowden tube that obviously goes into here, this Bowden fitting, however people want to pronounce it. Then we need to feed the filament up through the filament sensor and up through the extruder. I'll probably do that off camera. Well, I've fed some filament just so that goes in the Bowden tube through the filament feeder. I haven't turned it on yet. This is coming up to the first time I've turned it on, so let you watch this, see if there's any blue smoke. Hang on. Well, I heard the Vel touch click, and I can see there's a blue light on the filament feeder. I don't know if that indicates there's filament in, which there is filament in, because I've fed it through there. We've got print, we've got temperature, print. Have to put it quite firm. 1 of 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, not too bad. Quite nothing to print because there's no SD card in. Settings, got leveling, disable motors, language, which is okay, printer information. So there's the information. No blue smoke. 350 by 350 by 400. Ender 5 plus. Version 1.70.1 BL. That's BL probably indicates the BL touch, I imagine. Temperature. I haven't took the thing off the heat bed, so I don't want to be heating the bed up at the moment. It says card removed because I don't have a card in. That's got the temperatures down here. Presume that's heat bed this side. No, that looks like heat bed that side. Nozzle this side, yeah. Let's press cool down. It's going to say yes. Fan. I heard a fan come on. So it's pretty quiet. I'm pleased with that noise. Fan off, presumably. Fan on. I presume that's the like hot end fan, or the part fan. Is there a part fan on this? I don't know, to be honest. Cooling, no, manual, so you can set the temperatures. I want to do some movement, so let's go back. Settings, move. Let's see if we can move about. So I'm going to do Y, which is Y, backwards and forwards. So I'm pretty far forward at the moment, so let's go. I haven't done home yet. I haven't leveled the bed yet. So I'm going to press home. It made a bit of a noise there. X is going home. Y is going home. I think it thinks it's... Oh yes, the bed is starting to come up now. Slowly. Sorry about focus here. Come on, pull focus, pull focus. I haven't even leveled the bed. I would say you want to level each side of the bed. So presumably that's going to hit this BL touch up here. I'm going to manually do it by my hand before it reaches that. Let me check that filament spool. How close is it going? Because I expect you to put the filament spool on this way. Or about 20 millimeters, about 20 millimeters gap there. Right, I'm going to deliberately knock the BL touch there. And I don't know what the noise is. Or was expecting it to do it again, I think, because it does it twice. So that seems to be working. Let's do X minus, which should be moving left. Yes. X positive, moving right. Yes. Y should be this carriage moving plus is moving back. And Y is moving forward. So we can do units of, just show you this, we can do units of 10, 1 or 0.01. Let's try 1. Let's try, oh, we got Z up and down. Let's do Z down. It's going down quite a bit there. Oh, I'm still on 10mm, that's why. Yeah, that's doing the 0.1. Let's do 10 again. So we've got Z down. Let's do Z up. Yeah, so all the directions are moving okay. Right, I'm going to see about heating the nozzle. See, think. Well, before I do that, I'm going to remove these clips. Can I? Oh, they're clipped right under, because I was going to take this sheet off. The protective sheet, that is. Now, does the bed actually come off like that? No, it seems to be on. Let me peel this off. I'll do this from a different angle, because some people enjoy the peeling of the bed. Well, I've done a home, come on, pull focus, and I've done auto leveling just with the still got the protective coating on, just to test it out. That seems to be working fine. I notice now that it shows the heights and the levels. Notice that if I go down, it's going to increase the number. 199, go down again, 209. So that is the distance from the nozzle, the height in the way, which is a bit opposite to what people are used to, is the nozzle rate going up, the bed, in this case the bed's going down. And obviously you can do the bed going up here. So it's supposed to be 400 odd. Quite responsive to screen. 379 I've asked for. There's no maximum setting on this, so to speak, only in the software presumably. Or when it's doing the auto leveling, and as someone said, it's not going all the way to the right, but you can adjust that in Marlin. Hopefully we can anyway. That's something in the future. I won't be doing it yet. So 379. $3.99. So let's go on 1mm. 1mm, it is actually saying 1mm the units. Press it down and it's not going anymore, so it's gone to 400.2. Now as I say, I haven't done like the Z probe 0 or proper auto leveling, but that's working okay so far as I can tell. Oh, that's what I meant to say. Does this come off? No, it doesn't. I'm going to remove this plastic sheet now for all those who like that sort of thing. I'll turn off the power so get the noise levels there, or the lack of noise levels. Let's turn this light on because I've got the printer plugged in, so the colour balance might be a bit out. So we're ready. Oh yes, that does come off without those clips on, as we see. I thought that might happen, so be careful of that. Ooh, that's a big sheet there. It's quite static, quite a lot of static, so we do have this glass plate with this texture on. Reminds me of Ultra Base, I think it's called. Very fine dots. Let's have a look at the other side. So the other side is completely smooth, if you want that. Obviously you would want washing down. and then we've got the aluminium sheet with a heat pad underneath. Right, I don't think there's anything else I can really say. Vel touch, yep, that works okay. Well, it seems to work okay. So yes, we do need these clips on, just normal binder clips. Can't say I particularly like these. They do encroach on the bed a bit, but I think there's plenty of space. So we'll line that up and then clip these on. Might have to watch the nozzle on these. That's one thing. I don't think the nozzle will hit, because there was a bit of gap when I measured the build area. Well, the build area compared with the size of the build plate. Now there should be another clip somewhere. I'll have a look for that. I'll finish off there because this video is getting on a bit. But yeah, that seems to be working okay. Have to try a print. As I say, I might change that spool reel there to one that can actually roll on some bearings. Tidy up the wiring a bit. But apart from that, I can't think of anything.